Love is not inherently good or evil, and that is why it is the answer. Most people, when they think of love, they think of a lot of good things, like good qualities, good judgments within the conscious mind, within the ego, or something that pleases them particularly. But love is a cosmic force of magnetism and admiration that goes beyond good judgments or bad judgments, good morality and bad morality. I can deeply, deeply love somebody who brings goodness into my life. And then I can also completely love the villains of the world, or the villains perceivably in my own life or my own perception of morality. And this is why it is the only answer when it comes to the universal wisdom that love is the answer, a specific answer, a general, all-encompassing answer. Because you can love whatever you want. And it doesn't have to be morally good or morally evil, right? Somebody could love punching people in the face, and then that love heightens them to engage in boxing or martial arts, and they love that. Right? So, is that good? No, but is it love? Yes. Somebody could deeply love hugs, and they just, every time they hug somebody, they feel an overwhelming love. Is that good? It's up to your personal perception to make it good or bad. Right? And this is where love takes us to a higher state of consciousness, because when you start loving at a true level from your heart, you realize that your judgments get in the way, right? Oh, I judge that person as bad, so I can't love them anymore. Oh, I judge this person as good, so I will love them more. Oh, but then you're disappointed when they don't live up to your heightened expectations and judgments of them, preconceived judgments about them, what their character is like. So good judgments and bad judgments are equally as bad, but through the eyes and ears of love, there is no judgment about that person. You observe them in their raw light and shadow form. When you watch a movie, right, you're either making judgments about the character that's making half the movie lesser because of your moral placement, right? You're personally, say you're watching Star Wars. Oh, I love the Jedi, I love the light side. So then when a dark being or dark Jedi or a dark person comes in, you're, oh no, I hate this part. Or say you're on the flip side, say you're an evil motherfucker and you love Darth Vader and you're like, yeah, chop his fucking hand off, yeah. And then something good happens and you're like, oh, fluffy goodness bullshit. Both sides fail to enjoy the full bliss of life because they're not fully in their heart. You could be a great, benevolent, moral person, benevolent goodness, you do charity, all this stuff, and your life could still suck, right? You could just still have a shitty life because you're judging evil. Every time evil comes up in that person's hypothetical life, oh gosh, Monsanto, those motherfuckers, oh, they're poisoning the earth, oh, the lumber company's chopping down all these trees that I love, oh, Bill Gates, that motherfucker. All of these things accumulate in that good person's life and make it suck. And then the same thing with the dark side of life. Somebody could be a terrible gang member and they kill people and they deal drugs, and they're like, every time they see somebody giving a hug or kiss or doing yoga, they're like, oh, fuck that, you fucking goody two-shoes, giving out turkeys and stuffing on Thanksgiving and doing charity, fuck them. So this is the duality that people bang, 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 bang. And I like to call it between a rock and a soft place. Right? Your good judgments, what you perceive as good, you hit your head up against it, you could hit it as hard as you fucking want. And it's cozy and comfortable and relaxing. But then life takes you over here, hard as a fucking rock, your bad judgments. All this pain that comes from you judging that person and you having a negative perception of that person, place, or even aspects of reality like death. I love death. It's just to me, it's the most beautiful thing because nobody knows what's gonna fucking happen. I had a near-death experience and I experienced another realm of reality and a heavenly place that I went to, but nobody really knows what happens when you die, but people have perceptions of it. Oh, it's good, I'm gonna go to heaven and I'm gonna do this. What happens if there's nothing fucking there? Then that judgment, that good judgment turns into the duality again. Or somebody's like, oh, I've been so bad, I'm gonna go to hell. And then they go to heaven and they're like, wait, I'm a good person? What the And, yeah. So there's a million ways I could have to stop myself right there because there's a million realms you could go to after death. Even you could come back to this one. Have to go for year 2 of schooling. Reincarnation school. Anyways, what was I fucking talking about? Yeah. So love. If I can, and I meaning every person watching this video, if I can just love and even focus on loving your bad perceptions or your bad judgments just as much as you love your good perceptions, your life becomes whole, holistic, holy. And that's when you understand a bit why the holiest people in your life are a bit scary. They're a bit like, how are they that happy? How are they that at peace? Because they don't have a rock in a soft place. Or for somebody who's double negative, they just perceive everything as shit, then they're a rock in a rock place. They're just, everything's all good. Everything's love. And it's not good or bad judgments, and that makes you free. Because now, even somebody who has good judgments about everything, soft place, bubble of comfort wherever they go. But when you just love without any judgments, there's nothing there. You're free, totally free, every direction you move your consciousness, your mind, your attention, you are free because you just love. You don't have a reason, you don't have a preference, you don't have a contemplation or a mental thought process as, oh, I can love this person if they do this, that, and another thing. Oh, I can't love that person if they do this, that, and another thing. If you can remove all of that, then you're just here. And you're just in a state of love. And every judgment that people make from that point on, you'll just love. Doesn't matter what you think of it, because you're not that person. You're not that place or that thing or that aspect of life. You are a little tiny, beautiful piece of this big puzzle of life. And you just fit in how you fit in. And if you just love it, then you click right in. Everything's already perfect. Everything's already love. Everything's already magnetic to each other. And that's why it's the answer. And that's why it's one of the best things the world has ever heard from the mouths of many. Many have said it, that love is the answer. And here's why. Why is love the answer? There you go. Because when you just love, there's no good, bad, happy, or sad. It's just love. It's all love. And that's why the 70s were so fucking groovy. Because we had massive amounts of magnificent musicians just saying, it's all love, baby. All you need is love. All of that. So, take this, think for yourself, feel for yourself. Think about how you can love what you don't love more. And how you can love somebody